Blog Talk Radio. You are listening to the ENlightenment Evolution Network. Welcome to EarthSky People Radio. Living in harmony with Mother Earth and awakening to an intergalactic society. With your host, Victoria Vives, founder of Reiki Wellbeing and co-founder of the EarthSky People Movement. You are listening to the ENlightenment Evolution Network. Welcome to EarthSky People Radio. Living in harmony with Mother Earth and awakening to an intergalactic society. With your host, Victoria Vives, founder of Reiki Wellbeing and co-founder of the EarthSky People Movement. Any opinions expressed on EarthSky People Radio do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the ENlightenment Evolution Network. Any opinions expressed by EarthSky People Radio's guests do not necessarily reflect the opinions of EarthSky People Radio. Hello, this is EarthSky People Radio with your host, your friend, and your family, Victoria Vives. You can find me at victoriavives.com. Today is Tuesday, October 21st, 2014. We are together in EarthSky People Radio. Earth representing our connection with Mother Earth and nature, and Sky representing spirituality and life beyond the earth, extraterrestrial, extra-dimensional. Today I have an important message for you: how to fall in love with your life on earth. Depending on the length and depth of this sharing, we may have a second show on the same subject to complete this transference of frequencies. Beloved Starseeds and Earthlings, whether you consider yourself from one kind or the other, we are all one and the same. There is no difference or separation, and this is why it is of extreme importance to count on you for this important mission. Your task is at hand. There is no time to waste, because this is the beginning, the new beginning that you have been waiting for. Immediate action will be required of you. I am here to serve as one of many guides, as a bridge between worlds. You have been chosen, and your time of power is now. You will join forces with me and many, many others. We together will broaden the breadth of possibilities to expand and rise together until Mother Earth's ascension is a tangible reality, until the transmutation of all forces is a fact. The reintegration of all parts and the raising of their frequencies is essential. Nothing should be left out, and nothing will go to waste, so that the puzzle of reality can fit together. Beloved, whichever expression you have chosen in this lifetime, you are needed, and I feel great appreciation for your contribution. I know you may have questions, even after this training, so I will aid and assist in increasing the connection between you and your heart where all answers reside. The connective algorithm will be 347-215-8586 and the key 1. Translating into earthling terms, just call 347-215-8586 and press 1 to ask your questions. Those who dial first to ask shall first receive. So I encourage you to join the queue right now. Remember, it all starts with you, not with you escaping this life on earth, but with you falling in love with it. So we will begin with this task, with this journey, right now. Directive 1.1, Psychology Proven Strategy Number 1 to build up your happiness. Happiness can fuel your life and your mission, so it is essential to build up your happiness, as it is pure life force running freely through you. That is the feeling of happiness. The following technique is called Well of Appreciation. Imagine a well that has no foundation, no base, no bottom. It is a cylinder open on top and bottom, incapable to store anything. So anything you would put in it would go out as it came in. It would be a defective well, not able to fulfill its purpose of containing. If you are listening to this, most likely you have experienced a process of preparation throughout your childhood to help you fulfill your mission on earth. Thanks to this preparation, you may have developed great compassion to better aid humanity. Sometimes this preparation may involve not receiving the necessary emotional support from your caretakers, such as appreciation or unconditional love when growing up, and thus building the well of appreciation may not have been possible, or it may be defective. If this is the case, you may experience that you are not able to register words of appreciation when someone tells you something kind about yourself, and in fact you may not even remember those words that were told to you, or perhaps you would feel resistant to accept compliments or have difficulty understanding how someone can think something positive of you. Another thing that can happen is that if someone says something nice about you, you may think that they want something in return. All of these are symptoms of a well of appreciation that has no bottom, no foundation. There are many degrees in which one can experience this defective well of appreciation, and there is always a way to heal it. So this technique is easy, but it will require your consistent effort. It is part of the reprogramming. The technique is as it follows. Every time that someone tells you something good about yourself, repeat it mentally, or even better, out loud when it's possible. Do the same when you see something you love about yourself. So for example, when somebody tells you, "You have beautiful eyes," you can say to yourself, "I love myself for having beautiful eyes." And even if it doesn't make sense to you, you could say, "I love myself for having friends telling me that I have beautiful eyes." Another example. You arrive on time to an important meeting and you say to yourself, "I love myself for being on time." It is that simple. The more you say it, the more powerful. The more you say it out loud, even more powerful. Each of these statements is a new brick that you are adding to the bottom of your well of appreciation, so that any future appreciation that somebody brings to you has a place to lay on and stay with you forever, building up all of that feeling of worthiness, feeling of value, helping you feel happiness about who you are. Directive 1.2: The power of deprogramming and how you can do it. Technique 1: Ho'oponopono. Dr. Khuong shares this technique as a tool that we can use anytime that we find ourselves replaying old memories or old programming that take us to blame or guilt. If we blame someone because of feelings occurring inside of us, that is actually a trigger, but the issue is a memory within us, an old programming that is blocking and interfering with our true divine self and others' true divine selves. In these situations, just go back to your core, becoming 100% responsible for what is happening or for the memories replaying and the chains and projections that they bring, understanding that in some way we have created those reflections. Dr. Khuong explains that when we look at someone and feel distress, we are not seeing the real essence, which is pure light. We are instead only seeing them through memories from the past that are continuously in our subconscious minds, blocking the light and not letting us see that everything is a creation of the divine and therefore perfect. To apply this Ho'oponopono technique at any time of disharmony, just change any complaints, guilt, or blaming for the following mantra: I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you because you are light, a creation of the divine. I'm sorry for projecting or replaying memories on you and not seeing you for what you truly are. Please forgive me for doing this. Thank you for the opportunity of cleansing and healing those memories and projections. This simple yet powerful technique was able to transform a mental institution in Hawaii where people with criminal tendencies were assigned. Having some of them committed even murder, these patients had to be sedated and restrained due to their continuous attacks to the staff members. Dr. Khuong was asked to work in this facility and he accepted. However, he didn't work directly with the patients, and instead he asked for a room where he could be alone, looking over the patient's files. He took 100% responsibility for any way in which he created the experience of these mentally ill criminals. Knowing that all memories are shared, he asked himself, what is going on in me that I experience the hospital in this way? In a few years, all patients were released and the place was shut down. If just one person can shut down a mental institution by taking 100% responsibility, imagine how you can transform your life and the lives of those around you. Ho'oponopono can be practiced in any situation. You don't need to enter into a meditative state, but just repeat the words mentally in your everyday life at any time in which you feel distress. And now, some practice. Go back to a recent time in your life when you felt distress. Visualize in front of you the situation or person that was creating or triggering that distress within you, even if it was yourself. And now repeat to yourself, I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you because you are light, a creation of the divine. I'm sorry for projecting and replaying memories on you and not seeing you for what you truly are, light. Please forgive me for doing this. Thank you for the opportunity of cleansing, and healing those memories and projections. And you can repeat this as your mantra. And now we will go into a musical attunement for you to integrate this learning. Remember, the connective algorithm will be 347-215-8586 and the key 1. Translating into earthling terms, just call 347-215-8586 and press 1 to ask your questions. Those who dial first to ask shall first receive. So I encourage you to join the queue right now. Directive 1.3. The power of deprogramming and how you can do it. Technique 2. Galactic Historian has provided contract revocations that you can check at galactichistorian.com. I have also a video at victoriavives.com/contract revocations. You can do these contract revocations for deprogramming your mind daily. My experience has been that when I join with others, the experience has doubled or tripled the effect. So now we are going to do this together right now. There are many kinds of contract revocations, contracts that we in some way have agreed upon as a collective. So it is now time to become aware of those contracts, revoking them one by one. Now we will focus on contract removal for media systems. In order to do these contract revocations, I will first read and then you can repeat after me, line by line. So I will start now. Please join with me. And if you can say it out loud, with strength, with meaning, that will be even more powerful. I call to contracts that exist within my past, present, and future beings. Future being selves and existence in this dimension and time stream. And all time streams above and below the Earth-centric sine wave of coexistence. At this exact moment, in the ever-present co-creating moment, I summon all DNA lineage as ancestors to create a unified, proper spiritual court of equity so I may find remedy and resolve with all contracts that have inserted fine print during the pre-birth and birth process. I call forth the proper spiritual court equity to hear my decree of contract removal. I revoke all spiritual contracts with Earth-based media systems that use domination and control as a means of energy harvesting, fear instigation, or reality manipulation. With energetic propaganda technologies. Call forth all ancestors of all soul relations to hold space in this spiritual court of equity. I call to Earth Mother and all her light denizens within all inner and outer space. Come forward and occupy this spiritual court of equity. O great mystery, who is the source of all power, I call to you. Come with your sacred synchronicity. All beings may hold space with unity consciousness. I hereby revoke all spiritual contracts with all media personalities that do not have full use of free will and full knowledge of our DNA ancestry. I hereby revoke all spiritual contracts with all media agencies, corporations, and media-based family crests. I hereby revoke all spiritual contracts, assumptions, presumptions, and statistical models. That predict my habit patterns through the use of commercial advertising. Intertwined with the system of domination and control. I do not consent to etheric grid broadcasting over public airwaves. Television, internet, radio, or any other means or methods that propagate propaganda for mass consumption. I do not consent to predictive modeling by etheric or commercial means. I hereby revoke all spiritual contracts with all media-based sacred geometry buildings. I hereby revoke all spiritual contracts with the sacred geometry media presidents. Shareholders, new anchors, new reporters, pundits, talking heads, and all representations of government officials with global media network. You have no power over me with your presumptions of knowledge. We are manifesting, co-creating spirits. I hereby revoke all spiritual contracts with all news regurgitating systems, crawlers, websites, search engines, print media, and all forms of etheric propaganda used within all these systems. I revoke all presumptions of consent with all media agencies. I revoke all assumptions with all advertising agencies. That are founded by the system of domination and control. I do not consent with any advertising systems. Targeting soul groups, soul migrations, or the spiritual incarnation process. I hereby revoke all spiritual contracts that limit the genetic free will expression of all sentient kind. I revoke all spiritual contracts that define the media as our tellers of oral traditions or generational teachers. I revoke all contracts with etheric artificial intelligence that use sacred geometry satellite systems as a means to hijack my information stream. Take a deep cleansing breath and we will continue, so please repeat after me. I do not consent to psychic monitoring or influencing any media system that services the system of domination and control. I hereby demand the instant removal of all broadcast-based psychic parasites, propagation and harvesting system that creates herds of psychic parasites. I revoke all contracts that use my life force as a false form of consent. For the propagation and spreading of psychic parasites with all my DNA soul relations. I hereby revoke all soul contracts that grant the media power to last beyond one generation of history. I demand all rights of generational knowledge be returned to the soul family structure. I demand the return of our history in a complete and transparent manner so there shall no longer be secrets kept from our people. I hereby revoke all rights, duties, responsibilities, and current actions of all media personalities. Your services are no longer required. I revoke all privileges that grant the media families any power over my soul contracts, soul family, or soul-based migration patterns. I revoke all rights to any media system based in domination and control, from ever returning within my soul family structure of all past, present, and future lives. I hereby demand the instant cessation and removal of all false information from all media. I hereby demand that any and all future distribution of information over all forms of media absolutely embodies truth, integrity, and transparency in perpetuity. I hereby declare that Earth Mother, now in dominion with me for all local or mass media information exchange systems. I call forth all the ancestors to honor this reading of my free will. And enter it into the Earth Akashic record. For all sentient kind to understand, our freedom comes with the use of free will at all times. So take another deep cleansing breath, integrating this process. Good. So this was the contract removal for the media systems. And you will see that there is some others. So there is the revocation of banking systems, revocation of government, contract revocation for the divine masculine, and contract removal to free the divine feminine. They are very, very powerful, especially when you do them with someone else and for more than one day. So we have a few calls, and I'm going to start taking some questions. And if you are calling in, please press 1 if you want to ask your question, because I see some people calling, but unless I see that you want to ask a question, I cannot take your call. So just press 1 to ask your question. Okay, so we're going to go for area code 813. So 813, be ready. Hello.
Hello, Victoria and Jorge Noda. How are you?
Hi, Jorge. How are you? So good hearing you.
It's my pleasure. It's always my pleasure to listen to your good show and be part of it, to participate. I got a question. I always want, I guess a lot of people always wanted to know the purpose that they have here on Earth. If I'm a starseed or if I'm from one of the galaxies, and what is my mission here on Earth. So that's my question there.
Okay, so as you know, I'm acting as a bridge to reinforce your connection with your own answers, with your own heart. So would you like to do an exercise with me now?
Of course.
Okay, and for everyone that is listening, please follow this exercise as well. And before we go into the exercise, I want to clarify that sometimes it's not that important whether our origin is one or another, but the passion that we feel within, the passion that is fueling our lives and taking us to take certain actions. So sometimes you may feel inspired because you feel, oh, I'm from this planet or I'm from that planet. But in reality, everything that you are feeling is just taking you to different places, because at the end, we are all from everywhere. We just expressing different aspects of ourselves at different times.
Very cool.
So
Very
does
cool.
that make sense? Okay.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you to take a deep cleansing breath and close your eyes for a moment. Imagine that right in the center of your head, there is a beautiful white pearl, like a gemstone shining from the center of your head outward in all directions. And see if you can feel the presence of that pearl in the middle of your head, radiating light. Now allow that pearl to descend down through your neck and down into your heart, sinking in your heart. And feel it there in your chest. And as it is in your chest, the shine expands even further, reaching the whole world, even the whole galaxy, even the whole universe. And see where that energy is going more strongly. Images may come to you. You may see a vision, or you may hear some words. So allow that information to run through you. Allow those images to run through you. Perhaps you can even see a guide or a star being right in front of you from that part of the galaxy or the universe that is connecting with you at this moment. If that is the case, you can even ask that being some questions. So do that now. Place your hands on the center of your chest with the intention of integrating this information that you have received. Whether a little of information or a lot of information, by placing your hands on your heart, you will help anchoring that information. And more information may come tonight during dream time. So take a deep cleansing breath, integrating that new wisdom. And allow the pearl to grow so that not only it is in your heart, but also it reaches the center of your head, gaining further clarity in the information that you have received. Good. So slowly, you can open your eyes, and I would like to hear from you, Jorge, what you have received.
Okay, I'll tell you what I saw. It came as an angel to me.
Beautiful.
It came as an angel. What they told me was that I'm here to save the world. That's what, part of it, to be part of it, of saving the humanity, to spread the love, to be a light worker, and yes, that's. It was very short. It was nothing, big, a lot of information, but like you say, maybe in a dream they would, explain more,
How beautiful. Yeah, and trust that. What I recommend is that tonight, when you go to bed, have a journal by your nightstand. So on that journal, yes, on that journal, before you go to sleep, write down your questions. I would say focus on one question only. So write down your question or the information that you want to receive, and as soon as you wake up, before going anywhere, no bathroom, no drinking water, nothing. Before you move from the bed, just take your journal and write down anything that comes to you. Sometimes we feel that we have to receive something incredible, but sometimes just saying, oh, I saw this color. That may even be the beginning of a start receiving more and more details.
Exactly.
The more we write, the more we write and journal about what we receive, the more we share it with others, the more information comes through. It's like cleansing that channel of information. So I encourage you to do that and let me know how it goes.
I will. And one thing that I felt when you said the pearl on the top of the head and it expanded, I tell you, I felt it very much expanding all the way, to the universe. It was a big, like a big light coming out. So it was a very, very beautiful experience. Very, very beautiful. Hello?
Hello? I think my line cut off for a moment.
Okay, I lost you too. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. My line cut off for a moment.
No, what I was telling you is that when you said about the pearl on top of the head, I felt it, and on the chest, I felt it expanding to the whole universe. It was like a big, big light, so it was a very beautiful experience. It really was.
I'm so happy to hear that, Jorge, and thank you for your continuous contribution to spirituality with your groups on Facebook, with your calls, and with your work. Thank you so much. And what I was saying actually when it cut off was that I always recommend for you to work with this meditation or something similar, so that instead to look for answers outside, you can start developing a strong connection with your heart that is the bridge and the interface to all the rest, so that nobody else is filtering your information, which sometimes helps, but it is so good if you can go within and start developing that strong connection for yourself.
As I am, because I'm taking Sahaya meditation, and
beautiful.
It's very, very beautiful. I have done meditation. Being a Rosicrucian, I have meditated before, but this is something different, completely different. Sahaya meditation, I so highly recommend it to anybody.
I'm so happy to hear that. Okay, so thank you for calling, and we will continue with the show. So,
thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
We are almost at the end of the show. It has been a little longer than I expected. I wanted to cover the 10 points today. I only covered 3, so I feel that I should do the other 7 points with more time so that we can delve in depth and anyone can ask any questions they have. So we're going to do that. We will do a second part. Hopefully we can fit all 7. And if you have any questions or anything, you can also email me and or contact me on Facebook, so that next time we can also ask your questions. And the next show, actually next week, will be a little different because it's going back to interviews. So we will have Core Love. Core Love is the man who had 300 near-death experiences. So he can really share a lot of wisdom and insight of what is beyond the veil. More about that you can find at victoriavives.com/ radio. So we're going to go into some music now and then into the announcements. So, there is one more call. I'm sorry, I have to cut off now, but I promise I will continue this series and we can continue with those questions. Okay, so have a wonderful evening and remember, I love you. Bye.
Hi, this is Karen Newman from the show About Oneness, and here's what's coming up on the Enlightenment Evolution Network 1 and 2, starting on Monday, October 20th, until Sunday, October 26th. Simply put, Rob Gautier, founder of the EEN and the host of the show that started it all, the Enlightenment Evolution Hour, has put together the greatest metaphysical radio network ever. 7 days a week, we have shows that will aid you on your path to enlightenment, evolution, and ascension. On EEN1, Mondays at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is Heart to Heart Talk Radio with your host, Daniel Scranton. Join Daniel and his featured guests discussing a wide variety of metaphysical topics. Daniel channels the creators, the Hathors, Ophelia the Fairy, and Archangel Michael, and the latest, the Unicorn Collective. Daniel and his guests will take phone calls and questions, and it's sure to generate high-frequency discussions. You can find more about Daniel at his website, danielscranton.com, and also on Facebook. Go to the Events tab on Daniel's website to learn more about Daniel's upcoming events. On Tuesday at noon, also 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, please join hosts Megan Crandallmeyer and Rachel Archelaus for Radio Inspiration, Expression, and Abundance for their show Soulfulpreneur. Spiritual business specialists Rachel and Megan will bring you inspiring conversations with people who are living their soul purpose. Frequent guests include psychic mediums, channelers, coaches, artists, and authors. They end every show with psychic readings and business coaching. Your questions about your spiritual business or life purpose journey are welcome. Wednesday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific, is the show that started it all, the Enlightenment Evolution Hour with host Rob Gautier. Rob channels Treb on the first Wednesday of each month and will take callers' questions. On the third Wednesday, we'll have special guests such as guest channelers and other metaphysical teachers. The other 2 Wednesdays are freestyle call-in shows to discuss whatever callers have on their minds. Tune in to Rob on Wednesday nights, and you can also find him at trebchanneling.com and on Facebook at the Enlightenment Evolution Network group page. Rob has 2 special announcements. Starting on Sundays from September 14th, trebchanneling.com offers hour-long meditation classes. Please go to trebchanneling.com to register. Another project near and dear to Rob's heart is the much-anticipated sequel to the groundbreaking film Tuning In, called Tuning In Now. The movie will feature channelers such as Daryl Anka and Bashar, Lee Carroll and Cryon, and our very own Rob Gautier and Treb. Tuning In Now will explore the amazing work of today's top channels and how they are helping to awaken the consciousness of the planet. The film is in fundraising stages at the moment, and with a contribution for as little as $15 all the way up to $50, you can help make sure that this film is made. Please go to Indiegogo.com, that's Indie, I-N-D-I-E, Gogo, G-O-G-O.com, and type in the search Tuning In Now 2. That's the number 2. Tuning In Now with the number 2. On Thursday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific, join host Philip Malika with the Consciousness Evolution Hour. Join Philip and his special guests and co-hosts as they discuss the shift, ascension, timelines, metaphysical concepts, and the fifth dimension. Find Philip at the Consciousness Evolution 2.0 group page on Facebook and on YouTube. On Friday, The Earth Experience with your host, Kalina Angel, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific. The Earth Experience explores our soul's expansion through our human experience on Earth. Kalina will help you to navigate and expand through the exciting confusions that we are manifesting as new 5D beings. On Sundays, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Pacific, is my show About Oneness. About Oneness is a weekly radio program focused on celebrating the ongoing conscious awakening of our planet and our realization of oneness. I'm an American originally from Charleston, South Carolina, now living in Europe, The Hague, the Netherlands. I'm an integrated channel, medium, Reiki master, and metaphysical teacher. I have a varied and diverse background, including that of being a singer, dancer, writer, as well as working in the sport, nutrition, and fitness world. As a channel, I bring forward the information of my non-physical guides called Theos, whose message is always that of oneness and unconditional love. This show for me is about integrating all of my experiences and following my highest excitement, which is tapping into the truth of the universe. If you would like to find more about me and my show and my upcoming guests, as well as see many videos and channelings and teachings, you can go to aboutoneness.com. On the Enlightenment Evolution Network, too, join host Victoria Vives every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific, hosting EarthSky People Radio, your bridge between heaven and earth. Subjects will include planet Earth, becoming part of an intergalactic society, star seeds and extraterrestrial life, living in oneness with one another, with Mother Earth, and with life beyond the Earth, the Interstellar Alliance, also known as the Galactic Federation of Life, music, frequency and sound healing, question and answer interviews, shamanism, ancestral wisdom and the star nations, self-sustainative and regenerative living, and much, much more. Please go to victoriavives.com/radio, where she has details about the show and the network. On Saturday evenings, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific, the Pied Piper and Texas Rebel hosting the show Disclosure Now. Disclosure Now is the On the Edge of Our Seats show that covers all topics of disclosure, from the world's most famous and obscure UFO cases. Pied Piper started his journey in Michigan in 1993 as a preteen seeing Bigfoot and never could get enough in investigating all things paranormal. Texas Rebel is a wild Texas man who loves the same journey and has studied these things for years. Join them as they cover all things in the human experience that just cannot be answered by anyone. And our newest show, starting on November 2nd, hosted by Neil and Sol Gar, The Resonance Intention, from 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 1 p.m. Pacific. The Resonance Intention show is dedicated to all things frequency and vibration. They will showcase conscious musicians who infuse frequency into their music and have set out to uplift and raise the vibration of humanity through their music. They will have in-depth conversations with various artists about their passion, purpose, and personal journey that led them to where they are now. Additionally, they will routinely have guests on the topics of free energy, technology, and other quantum modalities, technologies that are coming into existence now. The Resonance Intention is a platform for artists, musicians, and inventors to increase awareness of their personal approach in order to contribute to the paradigm shift that we are currently within. And remember, you never have to miss any show from the Enlightenment Evolution Network 1 or 2. All shows are available to listen to again immediately after they air on playback. All right, back to the show.